Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to start the fourth chapter of your Civics, Political Science. That's the working of institutions. Till now we have completed democracy, constitutional design and electoral politics. All these three chapters are covered in the winter session. Students who have understood the concepts of these three chapters will be able to understand this chapter in a much better way. So let me remind you what we have read. We have read about the democracy, how democracy rise in the world, what are the sacrifices, what was the need, and how democracy is the best form of government. In this chapter we have learned so many things that those things are enough to understand all these concepts, all the other topics, because this forms the base of your whole content of this book. So democracy, actually, I will remind you what democracy is. Democracy is the form of government where the rulers are elected by the people. Means that the people have many rights and also they have some duties. They enjoy their rights, they enjoy their fundamental rights, they enjoy all what they want. And the next, then when democracy comes, means the form of government comes, then comes the constitutional design. But we have learned in this constitutional design, we have learned about the constitution. What constitution means? Constitution means a record, a written record in which laws are made for running a country. Because in a democratic country, constitution is needed, whether the country is democratic or not, but constitution is needed in every country. We have focused mainly in this chapter, constitutional design, in fact in all chapters, on mainly on Indian view, matlab ki constitution of India. We have studied about the constituent assembly. Constituent assembly was a committee made by Indian government for the designing constitution, for making laws, which was not so easy task, because India was a multilingual, multi-religious country. It was a diverse country, diverse cultures were there. So those members of Constituent Assembly kept in mind all those diverse conditions and make a constitution for India. And then we discussed about preamble of Indian Constitution. We discussed how India got independence, and then how India became republic and adopted its constitution. Then we discussed about electoral politics, how elections are conducted in different parts of the world. These two topics were on the international level, where we studied them on international level. Constitution was also there on international level, but we focused on, your book focused mainly on India. Electoral politics we have studied in much detail. We studied what elections are, why elections are needed, which body conducts elections, what type of governments are there. For example, bi-party system, presidential rule, communist party, and in these different governments elections are conducted differently. In the communist elections we have learned some funny things, just like as when they voted, when the voting day was near, they moved those ballot boxes on the 11th hour, and those the voting sites were changed and all. And that means that was the deceptive electoral politics under the Communist Party, because they never let any party to win. They rule for centuries. But in India, we have learned that elections are free and fair and are conducted by an independent body that's called as Election Commission, which is not related to the government. And then we have learned also about votes, the age of voting, voting machines, declaration of results, election campaign. We have learned about the constituencies, we have learned about the reserved categories and all that. Now, this fourth chapter of your book is the working of institutions. What actually this working of institution means? Here I will cite an example. For example, our body is made up of so many cells, so many tissues, so many organs which work coordinately to function and to make our body functional. Same is the case here. Working of institutions. This working of institutions is the working of government institutions. Government institutions means the organs of government. Organs of government means parts of government. Government has 3 organs by which it functions properly: legislature, executive, and judiciary.